What's up, guys? We are Manny and Ashley of Iz Liv Films. We are a high-end outdoor wedding photo and video team based in Orlando, Florida. And we want to jump on and just talk a little bit more about us and our company. And Ashley, you can go ahead and introduce yourself and what your role in the company is.
Well, man, I don't know what my role in the company is. It's kind of a mix of everything. So,
We switch off a lot.
yeah, so I am Ashley, Manny's wife. We've been married for
Going on
almost
8 years.
8 years.
Known
Yeah.
each other for, well, would have known each other for 9.
Yeah. Um,
Decade long.
let's see. So, well, I guess a big one is I'm a lead photographer. But this year I've kind of switched into taking a little bit more of a back end role. So focusing on building the associate team. I do the written content. Well, it's kind of a tag team, but I start the written content and then you refine it.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
let's see, I handle all the client communication.
Yeah.
Handle all the management of Honeybook, which is our CRM,
Yeah. So if you have any calls with Ashley,
creating emails,
Yeah.
customizing the
you're always seeing her
timelines.
face. Yeah.
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 Creating the guides, the visually appealing stuff. That's all me.
Yep.
And you?
I started as the lead videographer, and our roles. Well, I guess let's just take it back a little bit. We both started doing photo and video, but you didn't have any experience going into it, and so 5 years ago, I forced you to get in there and start shooting the weddings a little bit.
Yeah, it basically was, hey, well, I committed to this and I need someone to help me. So that's you.
Yeah.
And I was happy to oblige.
Yeah. So we ended up. You shot your first wedding about 5 years ago, almost 6 years,
6.
almost 6 years
Yeah.
ago now.
It was very stressful. I like to have everything planned. I don't like to fly by the seat of my pants. I don't like to do things last second.
I don't think either of us like that.
Yeah, and it gives me more confidence when I know what I'm going for and what I'm trying to create. So that started my process of, for that one, I had multiple boards, like Pinterest boards or like collages on my phone for each portion of the day. So when it was details, I had
For Brandon and Ties, you had all that?
yeah.
Okay, so you were already developing the system for which we...
I was developing this system. I hadn't quite found my style yet.
Interesting. See, things I didn't even know.
So I had my detail inspiration pictures, and then I had my bride getting ready inspiration pictures, and then I had, groom inspiration pictures. I had couples portrait pictures. I had wedding party pictures, all of those, so that when I did get to those portions of the day, I wasn't quite so stressed out, and I was able to say, okay, this is what we're going to try. This is what we're going for. And then I directed the people or the couple from there. And so that was really helpful for me personally in figuring out over the span of a couple weddings, I like these results. I like those results. I don't like how that turned out. And that started my learning process, but also the process of our signature style and like the typical shots that we go for, the typical lighting scenarios
And
that we like to be in,
You came
and all
from
of
no
that.
background of photography at all.
No, I mean,
Which
I took a
I think
photography
is-
class in high school.
Which
but
I think that's very
that was it.
impressive because you come from a background of hairdressing, barbering is it not barbering, right?
Yeah, both.
Yeah, and managing, like being a manager at like bakery shops and stuff like that. So to bring
Yeah.
you on and do this, like I knew you could do it because if I could learn it, I think anyone else could learn it. It was just through repetition and then just throwing you in the fire as well. Yeah, and then we just developed that system over time.
Yeah.
What was the editing style isn't what it always was. What was the process in us developing that? Because we really wanted to come out with a filmic, shadow embracing, true to life type of edit.
Yeah.
What was your process in developing that?
Well, I think both of us we've both gone through a lot of iterations
I had a
of
teal and orange
editing.
phase for like 3
Yeah,
years.
you had a big teal and orange phase.
Yeah. But we still bring that back into the weddings. It's very subtle
It's
still,
got to
yeah.
be subtle. So I think in developing the style for wedding photography, we want our wedding photography and our videography, like our edits, we want them to be timeless.
Yeah.
And so part of being timeless is not being too far one way or too far the other way. And so that's really always been the focus. I went through a phase where everything had to be super warm
I
and
remember that.
brown
Yeah. Brown and warm.
and beige. And like, I still love that. And
Mm-hmm.
I still will lean that way a little bit sometimes if the environment that I'm shooting in calls for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is the middle of winter in Florida, which is essentially fall, and I'm in a space that has very little greenery and it's lots of brown grasses and beiges and things like that, then
Right.
the edit naturally is going to lean a little bit more that way
Right.
because that's what it was like in true life, or in real life. So there's been a lot of iterations. I was dead set for years on creating my own preset.
Little did she know.
Little did I know. So I ended up purchasing a couple preset packs, and those were game changer. Those were kind of like my little shots of espresso, in giving me a boost and helping me figure out, oh, okay, that's how you get that look rather than me trying to figure it out from scratch. Because the only experience I have in Lightroom is via YouTube and experience in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
It's not something I've been trained on or really even understand every single little detail of things that I can tweak in there. So I needed that base to give me a jump.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think in the realm coming from video production, in the realm of all that, you can create your own presets and styles. But
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with purchasing presets. But what was interesting is you used it as a way to see what parameters were being manipulated.
Yeah.
So that you're able to then put your own spin on it and then develop our signature look throughout that.
So
Yeah.
I bought one preset pack and it was okay, but it wasn't quite in line with what I was picturing. So then I purchased another preset pack and that one gave me a better base. And then I was able to tweak and adjust the preset according to what we like to see in our photos, and just make little adjustments from there. And it's continuing to refine. You know, I have my one preset that I've used for probably a year now, and we just sat down together the other week and decided what we wanted to change about it.
Yeah.
And so we're just making little tweaks here and there and adjusting as we go in order to continue to refine our brand and our style and our colors.
Yes, we are marketers, we are business owners, we are sales consultants, we are ad copywriters. That's a lot of you and I's role right now. But I think we got into this because we get to take pictures and shoot video.
Yeah.
And
And we get to help bring the couple's personality to life.
Right. And I like to do that through color, through audio, through all these different avenues that make up being a creative person. So what worked back then doesn't always work forever. And so we want to try to continue to make sure that we are staying timeless, staying refined, improving upon our editing style, because there's been improvements over the years. If you look at our videos and our photos from 5 years ago, it's vastly different than what it is right now.
Yeah.
How was your what has been like the role? At what point did we start to see that we needed to expand this a bit more?
At the beginning of the year.
At the beginning of 2023.
23.
And currently it is December 29th.
Yeah.
2023. So
Yeah. So it's actually not even at the beginning of the year. It was probably in March is when I had that aha moment. We were at the mastermind retreat for WLMA.
Yeah, we are. I'm an ambassador for the WLMA, the Wedding Lead Machine Accelerator Program, and that was a huge help in helping us understand how to market and how to get more clarity on our brand. Because I had no clarity for years. I was doing it all.
And also how to resonate with our ideal client and being able to get in front of them so that we were, having better partnerships and having better client relationships and better experiences on wedding days.
Right, because the last thing you want is to get into business with a couple that you don't really vibe with. And for us, it's more than just about the money. It's about, again, being able to enjoy working with people because you have a good connection, because you have a good relationship with that person. And so
You share the same values.
that's it.
Yeah.
And the WLMA helped us to define those values. And once we started understanding those basic principles of building a business, your non-visual branding, that allowed us to speak to the right couple, where we were booking a bunch of weddings in 2022, like more than we could handle.
Yeah.
And so we ended up getting to
So we had a lot of weddings in 1 month.
we had like
And
we had 4 weddings in 1 month, which doesn't sound like a lot to like maybe some people, but like
yeah, there are people who shoot for a week even. But for us,
have fun with that.
for us, for our personalities and the level of care and energy that we put into every single wedding day and every single wedding couple, that was not sustainable for us for the long term. You know, we also have our daughter, and we, you know,
It was
connection is really, really important to us, with each other, with our daughter, with other, you know, friends and relationships that we have in our lives. And we want to maintain that. That's the purpose of having our business, is so that we can maintain these deep relationships that are important to us. And so working at that level and that volume of work was not sustainable for the lifestyle that we want to create, and the depth of connection that we want to have in our relationships, in our lives. So
it
that was
pulling us away from our family.
Yeah,
to
that was the
continue to
turning
do
point.
that. Yeah.
So it was during Nathan Holritz's talk about the big picture. And I realized that's where my aha moment happened. I'm like, I don't like my big picture right now.
Yeah, he made us write down.
Right now, I don't enjoy the amount that I'm working outside of the house. I don't enjoy the amount that I'm working inside of the house.
Editing,
What can I do in order to, one, figure out what my big picture is, but then two, make it a reality. So that was my big aha moment. And a big part of that is not going out so much on wedding days. As much as I love it and I enjoy it and I want that connection and I want to provide that full service experience to our couples, I can't do that for 30, 40, 50 couples a year. It's impossible.
It's impossible. I mean, it's definitely possible for somebody, but it's
for
impossible
us
for us.
And the lifestyle that we wanna have. So that is where I'm like, man, what can I do? What can we do in order to be able to have that volume of weddings? Because we're passionate about the experience that we provide. We know we have value. We know that we can help couples, but make it sustainable for us and make it healthy for us long term.
Yeah.
And so then that's where the idea of the associates came in. The associates also allows us to offer the experience to more couples, because it's working with associates is not quite at such a premium price. So it opens up that experience to couples who are a bit more budget conscious, to couples who want to do more of their own hands-on planning with their wedding. We're not quite so heavily involved, and it works out really, really well for a lot of people. So that's been something that was my aha moment.
Yeah, right in March.
And that's something that I've spent the whole year working on.
Yeah, you were hard at work writing all the... what we didn't understand is that when building our associate team, here's the thing. I think there are some people that think that you can just raise your prices and that's it. Like, people are going to pay for that. And what we wanted
Maybe in some cases.
But what we really wanted to do was to take our associate team and not have it be like you're entrusting us to make sure that we're giving you somebody to shoot your wedding that is professional, that's going to do it the right way, that's going to treat you the same way that me and Ashley. So we started thinking, like, how do we do that? Like, how do we find people that we can trust, team members that we can trust, to go out for our couples? Because, you know, we didn't invest into our wedding photography and our video, and our our entire wedding day. So we know that we needed to find people that would take great care, but would put the same care that we put into it. And a way that we were doing that is to teach them about our values.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it starts off with, do I like this person as a person?
Yeah.
I think, can we
That's
hang
how-
out? Can we hang out with them
Yeah.
as people?
That's how we do it with everybody on our team.
Yeah, because if we can hang out with them as people and we enjoy being around each other, then automatically we've got some shared values there, and we enjoy being around each other. And that is a key to making our associate relationships enjoyable, and being able to maintain an enjoyable relationship with each of our associates. It's going to make it easier to convey information. It's going to make it easier for us to have conversations about tweaking the experience or tweaking the product or things like that. And so once we know that at a baseline, they're good people, then we can go in and start educating them more and more on our style. The other baseline is they already have to be technically skilled, not just competent, but technically skilled on a wedding day.
We're not just picking like some student photographer straight out of college or something. These are people that have been in the industry.
And people who have beautiful work, people that I love to learn from too, still.
Jen in particular.
Jen, Aiden, BJ, Brian, everyone.
Yeah, everyone's got their own set of skills.
Yeah.
And even when you come down to like our assistants, like Sammy and Josh, they bring a different level of, they bring a different view to what it is to work. They bring a different...
I think they also bring a really nice energy to the wedding day as well.
That in particular, Josh in particular too. Like I love having him on there. These people, our friends have been working with me over the last 6 years in video production, doing stuff for Dick's Sporting Goods, for Seminole County, different brands, different companies that we've been able to work with. So everyone has that hands-on training, especially in the video production aspect of things, because your wedding is a production. I don't think people realize that we're not just going in there and shooting, but we're trying to capture the essence of who that couple is. And you do that through...
And sometimes that means you're curating moments. Sometimes that means you're creating moments, because there's a lot of things that happen on a wedding day that can take a bride or a groom or the couple when they're together out of that moment.
Right. What are some of those things that takes them out of that moment?
I would say interacting with guests, maybe having to...
Not eating.
Yeah,
That's
not
a big
eating. I think another thing that really takes couples out of the moment on their wedding day is not having someone assigned to handle venue or vendor questions.
Yeah.
So if the bride is the main point of contact throughout the entire wedding planning process and the entire wedding day, she's not going to be able to let go and enjoy all the moments on her wedding day. She's going to be too worried thinking about this or that, or where are they going to set up, or
there's
what time are they
nothing
going to
worse
get
than
here.
watching a bride like kiss her husband like during like the bridal portraits, and then just like completely change facial expression and be like, okay, well, like what's next? Hey, did that person go over here? Did this person do this? Like, girl, you don't even like, we don't want you to worry about that.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that we wanted to eliminate.
Yeah.
Is the need for the bride to have to do all the work. That's why whether you work with me or Ashley,
At least when it comes to the photo and video side of things.
when it comes to the photo and video side, but you should be surprised that the photo and video kind of that dictates a lot of what's going to happen throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, we're intimately involved in every single one of the big things that are happening on a wedding day.
We have contact with every single vendor. We have touch points with every single vendor. Like, if we want to shoot couples portraits, well, then we have to coordinate with, okay, when is the reception going to be done? Going to be finished setting up? The ceremony, the officiant, finding that, the officiant to lav up and microphone.
Typically a bride, but sometimes it's the groom who's so caught up in the logistics of the day that they can't be present in the moment. experiencing their wedding day as it's happening.
Yeah.
And like you said before, the bride, they do the couples portraits, and after a kiss, they're like, okay, what's next? What are we doing? What about this? What about that?
That's not how we run the wedding.
We've had
honestly.
grooms be in the exact same position
Yeah.
before, where we're trying to do couples portraits and they're, looking all around and they're concerned about this, that, whatever. And really the atmosphere that we try to cultivate on a wedding day and curate. And I say curate because, sometimes we do have to be very intentional with creating these moments between the couple, or creating moments between the bride and her family, or the groom and his family.
And not just us. That's something that we teach our associates to do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone on the team. And so that is the essence. We want them to be able to be present. We want the couple to be able to be stressed as very minimally as possible.
Yeah.
And the way that we're going to do that is by making sure that we've addressed everything and gone over everything before the wedding day.
And that's why our consultation process is, in
Very
my opinion,
thorough.
It's thorough and bulletproof, in my opinion.
Yeah. I've tried to make it that way, and there's still are refinements here and there, but it's super crucial to talk about potential pain points, so problems that we might run into, whether it's family dynamics or friendship dynamics.
Yeah.
We discuss all the details, what's most important to the couple, what's least important to the couple. Some couples don't care for detail photos, and that's totally okay. We're not going to spend a ton of time on detail photos if they're not important to the couple. I still want to grab a few of them,
Right,
but
because it
we're not going to
rounds
spend...
it rounds out the day, especially your gallery.
Correct,
Yeah.
but we're not going to spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour on details if that's not important to the couple. Whereas if it is important to the couple, we're going to make sure that we have that time specifically put aside and budgeted to capture those beautiful detail photos that's really important to the couple.
Right.
So there's questionnaires, there's consultations, and then there's even 2 to 3 refinements of the timeline.
Yep.
Before we get to the wedding day.
Whether you book with me or Ashley or the associates, you still get a custom timeline.
Yeah,
You still
everyone.
get resources to help you pose, to help you choose your outfits,
to help you create your family formals list,
all the things that you would normally, like, you don't realize goes into it. Like, we just create all of those resources for you, because I honestly don't feel like you should be worrying about those things. You should just be worried about getting married.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Exactly. So anything that we can do to help simplify and make the wedding day more straightforward, that is always the goal. And that's what our experience is all about. The experience also is really big on understanding who the couple is and what drives them and what motivates them. We always ask about love languages. We ask about how do you interact with each other. We ask
even have
about
a date night questionnaire.
a questionnaire.
The date night, like, what are your love languages? The one that we send out.
Yeah, so that's our Let's Become Friends questionnaire. And I always recommend doing it on a date night because it's pretty lengthy. But it's also really fun because it gets you thinking about things that you might not regularly talk about. So that is love languages. That's your least favorite things about yourself. That's important for us to know as a photo and video team, because then we can be aware of those things. Everyone
things like
is
to the left side. Do you prefer the left side of your face or the right side of your face? Like, things, we want to know those things. Because,
knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. So the more we know about you, your relationship, how you guys interact as a couple, what's important to you as a couple, those are all things that go a long way in helping us to curate those moments on a wedding day, and plan the day so that it's the most enjoyable.
Yeah.
And so that what's important to each couple is captured.
Yeah.
And that's our goal, really. We love our couples.
Yeah.
We really do. We become friends throughout the wedding day, before the wedding day. And it's really important to us that they feel taken care of.
Yeah, we try our best to. And, that all starts like in the initial consultation. Like, we always let them know, like, if this isn't a good fit, like, I want you guys to have what you want. Like, we don't take it personally. But we've been really fortunate to work with a lot of couples that they're in love with the work. They trust our process. I mean, trust is one of our core values that we run by in our company. Because if you can't trust us or our associates, then it's going to be really hard for us to curate that day, to capture that day for you. So if you guys are looking for a wedding photographer, a wedding videography team, make sure you like their work. Scour the internet, go on their website, go on their social media, look at their behind the scenes footage, look at their team, look at their work. Make sure you love it, because if you can understand what their process is clearly, then you know that you're going to have a really simple and easy time meshing together.
Yeah, it'll be seamless.
It'll be seamless for sure. I know we bounced around a lot in this video. There's definitely a lot of things that I want to cover that you want to cover when it comes to wedding photography and wedding videography. And really what we want to do is bring as much information to engaged couples as we can, because that's going to allow them to be able to book, enjoy their wedding day with ease. And
Yeah.
that's our whole intention.